It's time for some AEW fans to admit the truth. That being, that Adam Cole in AEW has not been all it's cracked up to be. While at one point, the former NXT champion seemed to have the entire wrestling world at his fingertips, ruling NXT with an iron fist alongside the Undisputed Era and having Triple H crown him as the future of wrestling, to even appearing in AEW in one of the most talked about moments, not only in the history of All Elite Wrestling, but in professional wrestling. Adam Cole has come a very long way, and it's been unfortunately in the wrong direction. Adam Cole, as I said before, was at one point one of the hottest free agents in all of wrestling. When AEW was able to get him away from WWE and he appeared at the conclusion of All Out 2021, it legitimately capped off one of the biggest pay-per-views a wrestling company has ever put on. All Out 2021 is a moment in time deserving of its own video, but looking back at what made that pay-per-view special, it really were the debuts of Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson at the end, which just seemed to ignite the flame of the wrestling revolution we were seeing transpire. And if we were to look at what happened in the immediate aftermath, you could say that AEW was on the perfect track with Adam Cole. He spent the next couple of months being alongside the Elite. They crowned the term Undisputed Elite, and Adam Cole and the Young Bucks reunited, and in Bullet Club fashion were trolling and winning their way to the top of the card. And you immediately go to Forbidden Door 2022. That is when Adam Cole suffered a concussion that at the time was very serious and which would keep him out of action for several months. It wasn't until January the following year in 2023, in front of a red-hot crowd in Los Angeles, that Adam Cole would announce that he was indeed back from that injury. And during that time, a lot happened. You had the Brawl Out situation transpire, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks were all off of TV, and AEW as a company was dealing with one of the fallouts of their biggest controversy of all time. So for Adam Cole to come back, it was a good sign for the company because they needed to restore that feeling. They needed to have Adam Cole come back and be the version of himself that we all knew he could be. And if we look at the next couple of months, that's precisely what happened. And even though there were a bit of some interesting turns to get there, Adam Cole wound up main eventing the biggest wrestling show of all time at Wembley Stadium in London, England against MJF. And where we stopped in that moment in time, it would have been the culmination of all of the potential that people had seen in Adam Cole. From being the smooth talking guy on top of NXT to being the guy who could also kick your ass in the wrestling ring, Adam Cole has it all. But if we look at the next couple of months, this is when the real damage was done, not only to the character Adam Cole, but also the perception of him as a wrestler. Adam Cole goes on to suffer another major injury that would keep him off of TV and out of the ring for nearly a year as he fell off the stage at Grand Slam 2023, shattering his foot and also shattering any hope for the MJF Adam Cole eventual rematch to be what people expected it to be. Instead, we got this extremely convoluted storyline in retrospect with the Devil and MJF, and Adam Cole eventually turning his back on MJF, only a couple of years later for us to find out that Adam Cole was the good guy and MJF was the bad guy, and even though the roles were reversed, it was not the best told story. And I think this is when fans put the injury-prone tag on Adam Cole. And whether they were right or wrong does not matter. What does matter in respect to the Adam Cole character is the impact that it had. Adam Cole was no longer viewed as a cool ass-kicking machine. Adam Cole was no longer viewed as someone who was reliable and who was always going to be there. He was viewed as a guy who was good when he's there, but will likely get injured very soon. And it is not fair to Adam Cole, the person. It is not fair to the wrestler and everything he's given. And if you look at the situations he's been put in, they're situations that were out of his control. Concussions are a very serious thing. No one would want Adam Cole to return before he was ready. No one would want him to put his life in danger from that concussion injury. The same goes for that leg injury. That just seemed to be a deal where he just was not able to get his foot 100%. And in a sport like professional wrestling that requires you to be mobile, especially given the style that Adam Cole works, it is impossible for him to go out there and wrestle basically on one foot. So to fans, the question is, what do you want him to do? But regardless, all of that, the injuries and the lack of interesting storylines, and now as we're seeing the reunion of the Undisputed Era just being a shell of its former self, with none of the aura, none of the mystique, none of the hype that it once had, it does feel like at this moment, Adam Cole and everything around him are just moving through the motions. And that is one of the worst things that you can do to a wrestler. If it feels uninspiring what the wrestler is doing in the ring, if it feels uninspiring when a wrestler is cutting a promo, if the feud doesn't match up with what your perception or what the old perception of that wrestler was, you're only going to lean into whatever the new discourse is. And right now, the discourse around Adam Cole is that he's injury prone. Right now, the discourse around Adam Cole is that he's a bit of a meme. Right now, the discourse around Adam Cole is that he is a shell of his former self. AEW simply needs to put Adam Cole back to where he belongs. They need to put him in situations, build him up to be one of their top faces. Because whether fans want to believe it or not, Adam Cole is still fully capable in the ring. Adam Cole is still fully capable on the mic. I just don't think the story has been there. I just don't think the inspiration has been there. And if we know one thing, it's very easy to break the aura of a wrestling character, but it's very hard to fix it. Can AEW do this? I believe they can. I believe it's going to take a lot of work, but they can get there. But in the end, I guess we'll see.